Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome. That should fix that. That should fix that. Oh, it didn't fix it. That should fix that. Oh, it didn't fix it. That should fix that. Oh, it didn't fix it. That should fix that. There's a window that is open somewhere. 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 And I can't find it. And I can't find it. And I can't find it. is one of the few things that Firefox definitely does not do as good as Chrome. That Firefox definitely does not do as good as Chrome. That Firefox definitely does not do as good as Chrome. That Firefox definitely does not do as good as Chrome. What a great start to this. We'll probably what a great start to this. We'll probably soft restart this in a moment here. 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 Hooray, that is fixed. Now where the fuck is this window? That is fixed. Now where the fuck is this window? That is fixed. Now where the fuck is this window? That is fixed. Now where the fuck is this window? That is fixed. Now where the fuck is this window? Slightly driving me nuts right now. Sorry, guys. 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 Slightly driving me nuts right now. Where the fuck is this? Where the fuck is this? So fun story, I have a lap desk that I use because I do a lot of my editing from the couch that we do. This is too distracting. This is too distracting. Give me 1 second here, folks. 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 Oh, this is so frustrating because, like, I've got a fucking 100 tabs. Frustrating because, like, I've got a fucking 100 tabs. Frustrating because, like, I've got a fucking 100 tabs. Frustrating because, like, I've got a fucking 100 tabs. Frustrating because, like, I've got a fucking 100 tabs. This is slightly infuriating. I'm very sorry. 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 I have an idea, though. It's not that one. I have an idea, though. It's not that one. I have an idea, though. It's not that one. I have an idea. Excuse me. Not that one. I have an idea. Excuse me. Not that one. Excuse me. Excuse me. Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck I assume that this is like the Patreon post. I assume that this is that I made automatically like starts videos when you have that automatically like starts videos when you have that automatically like starts videos when you have that automatically like starts videos. Yeah, so the tab should have a thing for it, but I'm not seeing a tab on any of these. But I'm not seeing a tab on any of these. But I'm not seeing a tab on any of these. But I'm not seeing a tab on any. What the fuck? Welcome. What the fuck? Welcome. What the fuck? Welcome. There was a. Let's see. Is it still doing it? There was a. Let's see. Is it still doing it? Yeah, it's still doing it. How about now? Okay, so I had the Patreon post open, but the video on it was paused, and it was still putting audio in there. Fun, great fun. Let's try this again. Hello. Hi. Welcome to this one's Patreon Hangout, where everything is going great. Everything is going super duper great. Yeah. Oh my God. So that just threw me off by so much all at once. Yeah, it's been an interesting month. It's been a bit of an interesting month is probably the best way to put it. I don't know if you, Nano, or anybody who watched this in VOD, or if anybody that's lurking, whatever, has ever, if any of you have heard the podcast Sad Boys. It's Jarvis Johnson, Jordan Adika, really, really good podcast. They're fantastic, and one of their main things is like they do kind of they get into like talking about like, you know, mental health stuff, like the stuff they're going through, and just sort of like more lifey things in general, along with topic-based, you know, episodes and all that. I kept thinking about that when I'm just like, it's been kind of a bad brain month, I suppose. It's been interesting. It's frustrating because there are really good things going on right now, but I think I've been in such an kind of wobbly space with some of this stuff, with some things just in the background and in life that like I'm still kind of catching up a little bit, like I'm lagging behind. But definitely had my fair share of executive dysfunction. It's my favorite awful 2-word phrase. Which I'm sure is reflected in how the video output's been for this month. It got better for a little bit, but I've still been struggling with it. And I'm starting to get my feet back under me, trying to be better with it. But it's been tricky. There's been a lot going on. Even just like over the course of this week, there's been stuff that I've just kind of like happened to be on the fringes of that have wound up getting their hooks in me, I suppose. Today there was a big thing on Retro Achievements about Pokemon Clover, where the folks running the site, so my understanding of the situation is that basically every game gets some kind of entry on the site just for as a like IMDb style thing. But then people can make achievement sets. Set is the term that gets used for a lot of those things. So like if you're playing Mario World, there's an achievement set that's got like 40 or 50 different things you can do. And the idea is to make it have a certain amount of parity with like trophies on PlayStation consoles and achievements in Xbox consoles. And so Pokemon Clover is a Pokemon ROM hack. I don't know what the base ROM is off the top of my head. I think it might be Emerald. But it was developed on 4chan like 15 years ago. And you could take a pretty easy guess at what kind of material might be in there, what kind of jokes get made. Pretty just gross sort of game in a bunch of different ways. And since about 2017, there has occasionally been like one person who is like, you know, the game's not bad because of XYZ, whatever. So, like, I don't know, maybe I'll make an achievement set for it. Someone did this for 5 years. Apparently, only one person can have the ball at a time, essentially, on that sort of thing. And in 2022, they were finally like, oh, I don't know if I have the capacity to get this done. I've got other stuff I'm working on right now. And so someone else took it until 2023, and then someone else took it till 2024. No one actually made one. And then I don't know what spawned the discussion that came around over the last like day or two, I guess, but the admins eventually weighed in and said like, hey, we're not going to remove this game or any sets for it. We don't remove anything unless it's basically illegal, which is an interesting stance to take, especially because they framed it as being like, we're specifically not going to take a side or get political, which is like, there's not really like a middle ground on this sort of thing. You either are allowing it or you're not. Like, it's one or the other. So a lot of people, myself included, were pretty pissed about that. It's a pretty fucked up game to be platforming. It would already be not great just to have it present on the site in a referential way, which it is and has been for years. It's much worse to be like, and now we've got achievements, because achievements get you points on the site, essentially. So now you're incentivized to play this game and get achievements. A huge amount of pushback today over that, and the admins eventually broke that off into its own thread and then locked the threads, and now there's promise of some kind of announcement coming and all that stuff. So who knows? It sounds like they're going to be reneging on that and being like, nope, never mind. Which I hope is what's going to happen, because fuck that game. It's a shitty ROM hack to exist, and it's full of kind of the exact garbage you would anticipate. Someone that was in there trying to defend it was like, it's not even all that bad until you get to the Nazi island. And then even the gym leader there, who's a Nazi, decides to date the SJW character. And it's like, what? Are you hearing yourself right now? Like, what the fuck? So that's a whole thing. Obviously, there was a whole thing with Blue Sky as well, where the folks that are there who had previously been banning pro-Palestinian messages or people, Palestinians specifically. Yeah, exactly. The fact there's even a Nazi island is like, hey, that's fucked up. And that doesn't even get into the kinds of Pokemon, the Fakemon that were made for it. Yeah, Blue Sky Moderation Team really dropped the ball over the last couple days. Some pretty cold, callous shit from them. It's interesting that they are very casual about banning Palestinians, banning trans people, banning anybody who posted rest in piss for that 24 hours. But they've got a pretty notorious transphobic user that's on there that they won't touch at all. And it's like, this shit sucks. There's that. I have a friend request on Discord that I had intended to respond to earlier today in order to have some back and forth messages with someone who I'm not really thrilled about having a conversation with, if I'm being real honest. But I'm going to have to push that off till later in this weekend, and that's just been kind of on my mind too. So there's been like a lot of stuff. It's been a weird month, and this week in particular has been kind of a bad brain week. So there's been some slowness on my side. In fact, as our special guest is sitting down off camera, I had meant to explain to him as well that there was something that he had suggested that I actually really liked the idea of, and I was planning to do, and then like my brain just imploded on itself, and it didn't wind up happening, which was.
Oh, wait, really? Was that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For tonight?
Not for tonight, but like
okay.
in the lead up to tonight, you had made a suggestion of doing something, and I wanted to do that, and I was literally planning to on Tuesday, I guess, because it was already kind of late on Monday, and I was like, oh, that seems like that's a good idea. I can do that. That should be easy. And literally all day, about maybe once an hour, there's a point where we're like, I should just grab my fucking phone and do this. It'll take 3 minutes. I'm like, yeah, but I'm in a shitty mood, so I'm not gonna make a good video. Especially not one where there's a tagline to it. It's like, but this will cost money. Like, yeah. I was like, I can't do that. If I'm just feeling like shit, this won't land.
Okay, I figured out what thing you're talking about now. Also, hi everyone.
Also, Jeff is here.
It's me, the Jeff.
Yes, he's hanging off screen. He's gonna have the chat open and stuff and chilling.
Yes, I'm only just getting settled in. So
yes.
We're started without me, and I was glad of that. So. Get my shit together and then join you all in chatting.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, so it's been. Oh, is it not turned on? Oh shit! Fuck! I can fix that right now. Give me 1 second here.
I was muted. There we go. That should be.
Did anybody guess who the special guest was?
Hang on 1 second. Logic Pro has been acting up a little lately. Give me one more sec here. Let's see. Does that work? No, it does not. Or it's sort of
Microphone check.
one mic at a time for some reason. That's not good.
Is it on solo?
Nope. So this is. I've noticed this bug before too. I'm gonna reboot the computer real quick. The MacBook.
Okay.
I move the mic in front of my face. It doesn't matter right now. Actually, I was about to swing it back in front of me. Oh, the camera mic is on too right now, so I'll use that while I'm doing this. Let's see. Okay, so you guys can hear me a little bit right now, probably. I'm I'm gonna turn this off as soon as the audio is back. But you should be able to. Oh, I'm extremely quiet right now. Let's see, right there. How about now? Not much better and delayed. Oh, I think I can hear it through there too. Or maybe I'm
not on the stream yet.
Are you not?
I need the link.
Then I'm losing my mind. It's okay. Whoa. Holy cow. This is a cursed stream. Oh, it's coming through these speakers. What?
Oh, your actual desk speakers?
Yeah. There we go. That'll fix that at least. Okay. Alright, you know what? We're just going to do this the hard way. This is going great. Oh, now it's down there. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. Oh, okay, hang on.
Once you have something sorted,
there we go.
You want to send me the
oh yeah.
link.
I can do that while we're waiting for the MacBook to restart. There we go. Okay, so that's there. That's fine. Oh boy. We're almost there. Yeah, this MacBook is starting to get on in age a little bit. I think... Is this this might be like a 2018? That can't be right. That's got to be newer than that. But Logic Pro... What's up?
It might be close to 2018 or older even.
Ooh. Let me...
I'm pretty sure that we've been using that since I joined the D-pad.
Oh boy, there's a pretty decent chance of that. Come on, Logic Pro, hurry the fuck up.
Just gonna go all to Windows.
I also need to make sure that I don't have any YouTube videos going like this one. That's fun.
When you want to make the switch, we got computer parts for a render farm and an audio computer specifically, so...
Well, like, the goal is ultimately, my biggest problem is, this is also, like, a personal use MacBook, and I also just use it for planning stuff. The goal is, at some point, to have whatever it's going to be, it just sits there and doesn't ever move.
I mean, you can just do it all directly through the same PC.
It's true.
Like, it could just... you wouldn't have to... It would eliminate some of the daisy chain issues.
The other big thing, I think we're good. The other big thing is, literally, I think the two first things that I'm getting once I start getting paid are a new CPU and a new GPU for this PC, because both of them are flagging. All right, let's see here. Come on. 3. Real? Is this still testing? What the fuck is going... Alright, you know what? Yeah. I was like, wait, if I do this, I'm about to deafen people, and the answer is no. What was that?
That was me going...
Oh no, I thought I heard like a high-pitched beep.
Oh. Not that I know of.
Do you guys smell French toast? Alright, so what? I'm so confused. Something is just not working here.
Check. So I seem to have input.
Yeah, but me, for some reason, I don't.
chat. It's my stream now.
Testing. So I don't have it unmuted yet, but... Okay, let's see if we can figure out what the fuck is happening here. I also just, hijacked the one working thing there, so... Hang on a sec. How about now? Nope. What the fuck? This is so weird. Whoa, also, what the fuck? There's also, hard panning going on here? This is weird. One more sec here.
Logic Pro. More like Logic Amateur.
Okay, let's see. How's this? Oh, there we go. At long last.
Oh, at long last?
There we go. I think we should be good now. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. Holy shit. So anyway, as I was saying,
Yeah.
boy, I can't wait to upgrade all of our shit.
True fact.
There we go. No more cam audio. We should be good.
Okay, good.
Yay. Yeah, holy god. So hi, welcome to the Patreon.
Yeah. Did anybody guess who the special guest was in
Jesus
the meantime? If
Christ.
they didn't know already? Because it's me.
What a shit show. Oh my god. Yeah. So Donkey Kong Bonanza, sure, why not? We'll talk about that for a second. We are gonna want to talk about the games we're doing and stuff anyway. Those have been slowly trickling out. I think we're still in the session that we did with you.
Yes. Yeah, that hasn't finished yet.
There is a whole nother at least one, if not two sessions, one of which has another third person who takes control for a while. Go on right down there, silly face, says Sarah. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm surviving.
Ish.
It's been good so far. I because it came up in, I forget what even the circumstance was. I think it was during the the Sonic Mania race. There was discussion of, and I'm not going to discuss the details of it, but there was discussion of spoilers and just spoiler culture and just the difficulties of not getting spoiled on games when existing in a video game content space.
Okay.
And the pieces to that matter for me. And I mentioned it during that, and I figure I may as well put it here, is there's one really huge spoiler for the game that I absolutely got spoiled on once or twice over, I don't know, a month ago or something. Literally maybe within 2 weeks of the game coming out, which was slightly infuriating. Actually, no, it was... I think I was actively trying to find music to use for the intro, outro, and one piece of key art, and I got spoiled on a bunch of shit for the game. And I was like, oh, well, that'd have been pretty neat to get surprised on. I won't discuss the details of it. Nobody should. Please don't do that in the comments or any of that. And it's definitely the sort of surprise that I'm like, that would have been genuinely pretty neat to have happen as a surprise. And it's just it bums me out. The game is still fun. I'm interested in getting further in the game. We've narrowly passed the first branching path, essentially. The first like choose your next world area. It is funny how much of the Mario Odyssey DNA is in this game, including the hey, here's 1 or 2 points where you can branch and pick which world you do next. But yeah, it is still a fun game. It's been tough to edit. I don't know why. I think it's because there's so much going on and the landscape is constantly changing. Did anyone else in the house get the spoilers, or are you the only one suffering? I believe everyone else is unspoiled on this. I believe it's just me. And it's funny. One of the more recent episodes that got edited was the slot machine comment one that you had made. Just that everything.
Yes. It's the overwhelming dopamine inducing nice little soundies like a slot machine does. Yeah.
I made my comment about flow right is right round, which I then went to listen to, and I got about a minute in and I'm like, wait, was that just a casino edit? Because I'm not here. And then it's literally like a minute and a half into the song on the second half of the chorus when they do the coda on it. That's like, oh, there it is. Now
I'm not crazy.
And I was like, okay, not insane. It was always there. I think they grabbed that part more for the slot machines, which makes sense. It fits with the aesthetic. But, I don't know. It's been fun in a sort of weird, like fast slots, dopamine rush kind of way.
I have such complicated and conflicted feelings about Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah.
Like during the time I was playing it, I mean, as the episodes come out, you guys will hear, like, I kind of really wasn't having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, the challenge wasn't really that intense, and it was just kind of collecty, open world, go and do this and that, and, like, I mean, I will be the first one to acknowledge that, like, those are not my kind of games. Like an open world, sure, but it's a different thing between an open world collectathon and an open world like a Skyrim or something.
Yes.
Anything with some RPG element to it.
There's some games that kind of lend themselves to a pick your own approach. Like, so the two recent Zelda games.
Yeah.
You can do
Breath
it
and Tears,
like a very linear adventure, or you can be a more collectathon-y adventurer for it, and it really is up to you which you want to do.
And I mean, like, those games were fun, but I think it's become very clear to me that that's, like, not my style. And the entire time we were playing, like, Bonanza, I kept thinking, like, this is Odyssey, but not as good. Like, some of the characters is cool, like Donkey Kong, and some of the people in the world, and Baby What's-Her-Name, like...
Oh, Pauline.
Yes, Baby Pauline. Like, those things are interesting and like, fun to me, but just so much of it in the end was just like, it's been 3 episodes, like, I'm not hooked. I'm kind of flagging. I'm kind of not really getting into it, and I hope I wasn't too negative.
I don't think you were.
On the I mean, I made my own fun eventually by murdering as many things as I could, and
destruction of the fractones.
Yes, yeah, coming up with ways to, make my own fun. But I think in the end I was just like kind of struck where I was like, man, I just don't like this. I don't hate it, but I just don't like it. And I came in being like, oh, I can't wait to get blown away, and
I
really wasn't.
So I still have not actually put my hands on the controller yet, and we're almost 30 episodes in, I think, in terms of recording.
That's surprising.
And I don't know. I usually try to make sure other people can get their hands on it, just because I know there's tons of games that we do that are basically just me. So I don't mind at all, honestly. But so my opinions come with a grain of salt because I've been watching them as a third-party observer, but. Yeah, I don't know. I was very excited for it. I like the look of it. I like the vibe of it generally. It does, to me, definitely have the visual aesthetic of like, oh, this, like certain parts of it mechanically is like, oh, I can absolutely see how this was the Odyssey team. It's probably built on the Odyssey engine. Literally, the game came from a tech demo that someone put together of a Goomba with like cannons on its back or something.
Oh yeah, the goofy.
Oh no, it had big like shadow hands.
Yes, it was a Goomba with massive arms.
Yeah,
I believe to mirror Donkey Kong.
Yes, and even some of the like broader stroke stuff, like you've got a branching path, you can pick which place you go to next, is very Odyssey. There's literally a layer. It's one of the only. I think it's the only layer that I've actually seen that we haven't gotten to yet. Straight up, it wouldn't even surprise me if it was intended as the exact same place as a kingdom from Mario Odyssey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So this is here. Cool. You are allowed to play the video game as well. Oh, absolutely, yeah. But there were two. Now there's one, and there's about to be another one or two on top of that in time. But there's games that I'm playing fully solo right now, like solo commentary too. I do not need to play them all, but I am going to put my hands on the controller. We were actually talking about the next time we sat down for it, I'd probably wind up playing for a bit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very at odds with how I feel about it. Where I'm at right now, I think I like Odyssey better, just because I tend to gravitate more towards platforming games anyway, like platforming control games, which Bonanza also is. It does have platforming to it, but it's a lot more Spider-Man and Hulk than it is like a Mario game.
It feels,
or a
lot
Knight,
sloppier and smashier.
Yeah, which is like clearly the design. Like it's not like that was accidental, but it's definitely it feels like the target. The target in the brainstem is meant to be the same place that people who go to like rage rooms or people who do a lot of like a big thing right now or it was big, it's gotten less big, but a big thing on YouTube for a while was slime videos, people making their own slimes.
Yeah.
I actually just bought a butter slime for my niece for her birthday, because it turns out the three of my nieces that are actually old enough to speak are really all into Sprunky right now. Are you familiar with Sprunky?
Fuck a Sprunky.
I was gonna say, I think I'm about to age Jeff by about 14 years.
Sprunky is something that I would make up during the course of a
right?
3 a.m. Star Force session.
It sounds like a parody of like, oh, well, when we were kids, we played Pokemon. All the kids nowadays are playing with Sprunky.
I thought you were going to say I thought you said Spelunky for a second. And I was going to be like, oh, sick. They're into like a fun roguelike exploration game. Oh, no.
Well, so
no.
my sister, for like birthday party stuff, was like, so she had a Facebook event set up for it. It was like, hey, so here's the size clothes that everyone's wearing and all of that, and like all three of them are really into Sprunky right now. And I looked at him like, that can't be the Sprunky I'm thinking of, because I've heard of Sprunky, and that doesn't seem like the sort of thing that at least the younger two would be into. The older one, maybe, but the younger two. So Sprunky is like an itch.io style game, very much in the vein of like old Flash games, where this used to be its own whole genre of game, where it'd basically be a music generator game where you have a lineup of stuff and you click on something and it's the tuba, bomb 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 bomb, and it just plays that on a loop forever. And you can play the piano and it'll go like and it'll just, you have all these layers that can play on top of each other, kind of thing. There were a few of these back in the day, and they kind of had their own little mini genre to them. Fun for 5 to 10 minutes, and that's about it.
Yep.
Sprunky premises itself as that you have a set of 10 little characters, mostly one color characters. The main character is an orange one that wears headphones. I don't remember anything else about any of the other ones, but the one that's on the very end is, instead of being dressed in a very vivid color, it's entirely black, like silhouette black, and its face is replaced with this scary looking, really high contrast image of what looks like a person doing the Kubrick
is this baby horror?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you drag him onto the thing, suddenly it enters horror mode.
Yeah.
Where one of them has their rib cage open, and instead of going the sound will be like ah ah ah,
Yeah.
and it's just like everything's scary.
Pained and spooky,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So the 7-year-old, I'm like, okay,
I heard the beep that time. By the
Oh,
way.
did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something's beeping.
it might be the bike. The exercise bike occasionally has a mind of its own and just beeps for no reason.
Okay. Hi, bike.
Yeah. The 7-year-old, she's very much like she she wants to fight. She wants to fight everybody all the time. She's one of those types. So it doesn't entirely surprise me that
Aggro
she,
child, sure.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me that like she might be into that, just as like yeah, that's cool and weird and scary and gross kind of thing. It's like, all right, fine. The other two were like 4, and it's like, there's no way. They have, I'm sure, seen the cute characters, and that's it. I fucking hope they haven't seen horror mode. I wound up getting
Little kids can get desensitized to that real quick, though.
yeah, and it's just like, and maybe this is me becoming old. I've got a lot more white and gray in my beard than I used to, but I'm just like, man, I mean, I'm not their parent. I'm not gonna dictate, any of that stuff. That is up to to their parents. But when I got gifts for them, I got there was a set of 3 little plush things of the normal characters, and I got that one for each of them. For the older one, I got the butter slime, which is basically just like, it's a slime, but it's got like a marshmallowy sort of texture, so it doesn't stick. Like if you drop it on the carpet, it's not like, oh shit, we need a new carpet. Like not the old like gack and Zand and all that shit.
Zand.
Or there was another one that sounded similar to Zand. Was it like it was like Zoo something?
It was the one with little balls in it.
Yeah, little teeny flecks of stuff.
Yeah.
But so I also got the 2 little ones. They were sticker sheets. And I was like, sweet, stickers. Hell yeah, 4-year-olds love stickers. And they're into arts and crafts and all that stuff. So I was like, cool. And the stickers came in, and it was 3 sets of 8 sheets. I'm like, god damn it. All right, I'll give each of them a full set, and I'll split the other set between them. And as I was divvying them up, I'm like, there's like a kitchen knife on a couple of these. What the fuck? Come on, man. And the rest was like, oh, it's like a blank template and some eyes, and some of them look like they were nervous a little bit. I'm like, okay, that's, ambiguous enough, whatever. But then there's the fucking kitchen. There were no like gory ones that were in there. I was like, okay, that's good, at least. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because even aside from like, oh, should I be giving these to my young nieces, there's also like, is my sister going to get pissed if I give some of this stuff to them? It's like, I should be careful about that too. But so I'll admit, I had my boomer moment of, on 3 of the 8 sticker sheets, there was a little tiny kitchen knifey sticker, and I definitely took off the kitchen knife from each of the sticker sheets. I was like, I will feel better about giving this to them if I'm not giving them a thing with just knives on it.
Yeah. I mean,
so I felt a little bit weird about like, am I being oversensitive about this? Maybe.
So
Which
like
maybe,
the thing is that baby horror is not new.
No,
like,
sadly, but
that's from way back in the day, Jeff the Killer, creepy pastas, like the advent of Slender Man, like
SpongeBob is a huge pile of creepy pastas.
Half of the itch.io horror games are SpongeBob knockoffs with like actual like SpongeBob and then AI generated like voices, and it's like baby horror is not new.
No.
But I don't know.
The old Flash Screamers from 2003, like,
sure,
it falls in a similar vein.
Sure.
Solve this maze, but it gets tinier. You got to get real close to the screen, and then and like,
there's like, there are examples of it all the way throughout history.
Yep.
But I just find it very funny that like, everything new is old. Like at this point,
it is
it's
very
like,
cyclical, and like
it's like, oh, Sprunky, look, it's what's the Happy Tree Friends or whatever?
Yes.
Sprunky's
where they
Happy Tree
start
Friends,
cursing and shooting each other and stuff.
Yes,
and,
you've got like normal, goofy little characters, and then suddenly they're like slitting each other's throats, and little kids are like, "Oh, that's so scary!" And the YouTube meta for a long time was hit kids with like slime proto fetish content and like faked scary things like oh no, there's a man outside my house, fake live stream kind of thing. Yeah.
Big scary man likes to visit children when they don't do their homework.
Oh no, baby long legs from Poppy's Playtime. I casted a spell and it turned her real and she's outside my house, and kids are like, oh no,
Mom, you gotta lock the windows tonight.
Look out, we have to send him $10 to help him defend himself from Yeah.
He said the only way to break the spell is if everybody gives over the 3 numbers on the back of mom's card.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? So Nano mentions, remember when parents actually used to at least try to monitor their kids' internet use? Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, they didn't really super monitor our internet use, but like the computer was in a common enough room that it'd be easy to tell if we were if we were on like a chat site or if we were on something that was scary or gory or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
By the time like high school came around, I had my own laptop, and like, boy, what an unfortunate time that was, because like right at the turn of the century between like real life shit. Sorry, that was beautiful
that
timing.
Was weirdly
on that.
timed. Yeah, my phone made an announcement at the same time as something bumped
I feel
in the house.
like millennials got like mass desensitized to shit in a very rapid period of like 3 to 4 years between like Columbine, 9/11, and prank videos and flash animations, usually screamers, but also I don't know if I fucking hope this site doesn't exist anymore. That is a mouse. Hey babe,
Tonka got one.
Tonka's got one. Tonka's got one.
I think it is largely expired, but she's got it in her maw.
The last 2 that she caught were not, and she put it down and was like, "Now do something."
She was
and
making
they
her
fucking
way
got
up.
away. Oh god damn it! She keeps doing that.
Bringing
That's
it up to the
driving us crazy.
bedroom.
To the bedroom. It's like,
So
please
fun.
don't. I get that she feels the safest up there, and that's like her space, but I there's a part of me that doesn't even want to say the name of the website on the off chance it still exists. So I'll give a near example for one that unfortunately I think does still exist, but it's ubiquitous enough that it's not like I'm breaking ground here. But so LiveLeak was extremely kind of disconcertingly popular
Do you
around
want to
like
see
2002.
someone actually die on camera? There you go.
Video of a man getting electrocuted at a power station. Guy falls under a thing, etc. Bad stuff. Not good. And being a teenager in those times, especially being a teen boy, who I had a pretty even split, I would say, of male and female friends. But like, you're in high school. I played football, so there's a lot of football kids that I was around and stuff. And there's definitely a certain amount of like proving you're a tough guy. Oh, did you see that video? Kind of thing. And so I am glad that my brain hasn't turned to fucking sludge from it. But like, there is definitely an amount of stuff that I saw, and I know that other people saw, that was like, Jesus Christ, man.
So I think that there's a very big difference from the early internet to today's internet.
Yeah.
That on the early internet, a lot of stuff, especially like a Newgrounds, E-Bombs, etc., Albino Black Sheep, I think C-Dude mentioned in the comments, like, that shit was not intentionally made for children.
No.
Because there was no money on the internet for random creativity. Like, if
money
you're
on the internet outside of ads,
early
banner
eBay
ads.
and pop-up ads and stuff, and like news sites and stuff, there really wasn't a ton of money being thrown around. Nowadays, like
the
I said,
monetizable internet is like less than 15 years
children spooky meta on Facebook,
you make tens of thousands
TikTok,
of dollars
yes.
off a single fucking thing.
It is now like, it is a financially beneficial decision to see how far you can push the limit to have videos that will entrance kids without getting yelled at. And like, these things about like, hot older women making like toilet fucking sundaes with ice cream and stuff, and then like eating them with their hands out of the toilet, which is like literally fetish content.
Yes.
But because it's little kids, they don't get. They get that it's
The
weird and not okay.
Like wafer thin disguise of fetish content, because it's like, ooh, I love chocolate ice cream.
Yes, like let me watch this woman scoop chocolate ice cream out of the toilet and eat it, because it's like, oh look, it's a kid's fantasy having a giant sundae and it's out of the toilet, and that's funny for kids. Like, no, you know what the fuck? Why is she wearing a tank top? Like, she's wearing a low cut tank top. What is going on here? And it's the financial incentive is hugely there nowadays. So back in the day of Newgrounds, people made videos for like thumbs up and appreciation from randos. Like even the most insanely popular shit on Newgrounds probably never made any amount of significant money. Like, I'm sure that the site had sponsored content that was like official, like the big games, like Pico's games and stuff.
I was gonna say, I think the one exception to that rule, I can think of 1.5 exceptions. The half exception is if you got popular enough, you may have stood a chance of gaining popularity outside of Newgrounds, which I think I can only both of my examples, I guess, fall into this. One of them being Egoraptor,
sure,
who got popular in Newgrounds making animations, Metal Gear Awesome, that sort of thing, which then transitioned into him doing like Game Grumps, which did ultimately transition to him becoming able to financially like do that stuff.
Sure,
like
but that's the gathering of clout for good content over time. Yeah. Only means that on the modern internet you really get paid. Like, the owners of Newgrounds made money.
Oh, I'm sure. But they had ads all over the place, which like whatever. That's how websites worked. They still do technically, but back in the day that just came with the territory.
I learned fucking Flash and ActionScript because I was like, Newgrounds is awesome, and look at all these awesome people making like games on Flash. And
the other big example, probably the only real example of someone or a creator who actually properly created something through Newgrounds that got them directly financially, got direct financial benefits would be I don't know the name of the person, but the person who created Alien Hominid. Well, that one got so popular that eventually they got a deal essentially with, I forget what studio.
Happy Tree Friends and Castle Crashers and a couple of like those sorts of games got their start in Flash, and it did translate to future success. But anyway, my point being that like you can do something gross and questionable and not get called out on it just barely and make a ton of money, and then like somebody's like, hey, wait a minute, is this fetish? And then they disappear.
Oops,
like
gone.
They're gone.
They're
like,
not a person
sorry,
anymore.
We realized and delete it, and they take their $30,000 they made and run away.
It's a very similar.
Those like horrifying Elsa, Shrek, Spider-Man, they
pregnant,
all
AI,
got each other
Joker.
pregnant. And then it turned out the baby was candy, and they tore open Shrek's stomach to eat the candy. It's like, that's fucked up. And
is it sad that as fucked up as that was, and it absolutely was, it's maybe the worst, or it's very far up there, of the worst major content scandals I can think of in YouTube's history. As awful as that was, and it so fucking was, I would still put it one notch below maybe the last real gasp of Flash games, like really gnarly shit, which was like gross health stuff games. Like, there would be games, there were a few, and some of them were disguised too, where it was like, oh, it's time for Bethany Doctor. I don't know, I'm just thinking a name, but it's like, oh, here's Bethany. She's really sick. Oh, thermometer. You give her some stuff. Hooray. Stage 2 is like, oh, she really doesn't look very good. You give her some medicine, and you do like the little reflex thing on the knee or whatever, like little that, and then you get to the third one. It's like, oh, there's like boils on her, and like her mouth is full of like black tar, and her leg is broken, and it's like, oh, this is super fucked up, actually. Yeah. And you specifically, it'd be one thing if the game was presented that way from the start, but this is like, oh, you lured people in for a couple minutes there.
On adult websites, there would be a tag that says gore that you'd have to click OK, acceptable. And for kids, it's just like, this is just a fun, silly game for children, huh?
Oops, half of Billy's head is missing. It's so interesting to look at how the internet has... I can't even think of a word for it. I was going to say changed, but it kind of hasn't, or evolved, and it sort of has, but like there's a certain facet of the internet that has always kind of been like this, and there are different... The older... I'd say the old days, I'd say pre-2000, let's say 8, 2010, somewhere around there. Pre-then, the internet was so much more of a Wild West in terms of like... There were no major structures. Facebook was still new. YouTube was still new. Twitter was like... I think Twitter hadn't even existed yet. It was about to. It was like MySpace era, LiveJournal, that stuff.
Yeah, MySpace and LJ were before Twitter.
Back in the early Tumblr. Web 2.0 days.
Yeah.
Where basically just anything goes completely. And it's like, oh, you would have like Net Nanny have to show up on your doorstep to be able to stop this shit. Versus nowadays,
how did that go?
Why is your cat like this?
Did she drop it and leave it again?
I brought it into my closet, dropped it, lost it. If I get another dead mouse in my closet again, I'm going to be displeased.
Tonka.
Oh my God.
How is Tonka good at the first half of the job and
She
so
wants to
bad at
play.
the second half?
Yeah, we feed her too
She
well.
shoulda
She wants
ate
to.
that
She
shit.
wants to play.
That's so funny.
Dead mouse.
I'd prefer that she doesn't. I prefer she doesn't play with it at all.
No, just
Or she does what she needs to do and be done with it.
kill the mouse. You just end its life. You're a cat. Just murder it.
That's so fun. That's 3 in a row now.
Catch it, murder it, then play with it for a while. Then
Sure,
eat it.
that's-
But, like, that's fine. I don't mind that order.
And mice are good at being like, oh, I'm so dead for like 10 minutes straight, and then as soon as it's like the cat's 6 feet away from me, go, and then now it's in your shoe.
Yeah.
It's in my closet somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
God.
have a new pet, Sarah.
No, I'm gonna have another dead mouse somewhere in my closet.
We literally we actually
Stanky the
had the
mouse.
closet closed for about a month and a half maybe because
We got back from the trip.
we got back from vacation and found a cat killed mouse in the closet under a
Under
thing
my luggage.
Under
I
your
think she
luggage, yeah.
placed it in there and it died.
and it
of
just
cat,
died under there.
fangs.
And so we like sprayed down the stuff and it actually smelled. We couldn't figure it out for a hot second because
Well, we got home late. We're
Yeah.
exhausted. The whole upstairs reeked.
yeah.
So, and I always close the door to the closet at night anyway. So we were just like, fuck it. Opened windows, closed the door, went to bed.
Yeah.
And then
The next day we were like,
I
it's
went
still-
to grab clothes from my closet, and I was like, oh, it's in here.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
There's no question in my mind.
And
where this
so
is coming from.
got rid of the mouse, sprayed stuff down, sprayed the air in the room just to like this smell is unbearable like.
Kept opening the window,
Yep.
doing a fan.
And then we realized that the stuff we were spraying with was not so good for cats. So
citrus essential oils.
yeah.
which are,
So
like,
we
poisonous.
closed the door and ran the fan for weeks to get the
Make sure it was all broken.
yeah, to aerate the room and all of that stuff, and eventually finally opened it. And it's just like, are we?
The best part of this whole scenario is that that thump we heard was definitely Tonka getting
Yeah.
the mouse.
Yes.
I'm sure that Tonka was under bed or chilling or lurking somewhere.
Yeah.
And we heard
there's
the
a
thump.
corner in the room right next to the water filter thing that she just sits there now.
Yeah,
She just hangs out
'cause she
waiting.
knows there's a
Probably more than
possibility.
one there.
Yeah, at least I think the last 3 in a row have all been right there.
She came strutting out of the room right there.
Yeah, she had no speed
looking
or whatever. She's just like,
directly into my eyes, and I was like, I thought she had like one of the toy mice,
We have
yep.
a bunch of them that
or
look
like
very real.
just a little piece of like some kind of fabric or something.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, hi, Tonka. Oh no, and she just strutted right past me and went right upstairs, and I was like,
She booked it all
that was
in
real.
upstairs.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
It's her favorite place to play with them.
yep.
Tonk.
She's let them just there in the middle of the night.
Hi, Tonk.
No, she's back.
Yeah, you lost it. You
Did
fucker.
you fucking finish your job next time, cat?
We gotta. The next time she properly does what she needs to do, we gotta jump on her with the treats. We gotta give her one of those treat tubes.
What, after she murders one?
Yes.
So she realizes she
The-
should come to
the-
you with it and be like,
Yeah.
here is
We need
dead
to
mouse. Can I have
incentivize
tube?"
finishing the job, or at least not losing it, so we can dispose of it or something. Like,
I just don't know how to do that.
the window
It's
is
a
very
mystery.
small to try to train her.
yep. We need to not be rewarding her for letting it go, though. That's a very particular aspect of this.
Kill it.
My steak has been rejected.
Oh, I got distracted by
We're talking about how
actually
horrible the internet was and is, but in different flavors.
yes, the proto-internet being horrible but at least earnest and honest and true, and then
Nowadays,
nowadays
it's monetized.
Horrible and AI and monetized.
commercialized, and everybody's incentivized to make the worst thing they can get away with to
Remember
draw
the
eyes.
immediate beginning of monetization of Twitter under Elon Musk, where it was purely off of views and comments. So people said the most heinous
that's-
engagement baiting
That's
shit.
how most of the internet has worked for a while. It's why, and it's one of the things I hate. It's why most food content videos are just pure
Rage bait.
terrible
Yeah.
rage bait of stupid things.
Yep.
And it's incredibly irritating because it's just people actively wasting a
Yeah.
whole bunch of food
Yeah.
to drive comments and engagement.
We had a
It's
brief
terrible.
conversation about the proto fetish content of like
Oh yeah.
Well,
gross
the DIY
food stuff.
is
Yeah.
very fetishy that is
where a
shitty.
woman in a low-cut top does something horrifying and like puts her feet in cake and is like, "I'm making a cake soup," and it's like, this is fucking
It's like, no, this is for somebody.
kinky and gross.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
so upset by
not
this.
to yuck people's yums, but yuck.
Not for kids. Not for kids.
Definitely not for kids.
Kids don't need cake stomping. That comes later in life.
Like when it
There's
comes, yeah, when it
so many weird DIY videos where they're like, first I'm going to take a silicone mold of this hot lady's ass
Yeah.
or her mouth, and you're like, okay, but back up and explain why.
yeah. Couldn't we
got to
do
make
a,
real sure we can see the exact curvature of her tongue.
We're gonna make a gummy imprint of her camel toe. Like, no, make it of a cute little puppy. This is for
And
kids.
it's like, oh yes, it's a whole imprint of her ass, so we can make a seat that's perfectly shaped to her ass. And you're like, none of that was necessary to make a chair.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
None of that was needed.
Nope. It's just to drive. And our point was is that this has existed, but the money nowadays is there to make it
It makes it
actually
even more,
attractive.
yes.
You couldn't
Yeah.
make a living making garbage on the internet back in the day because people would be like, this is garbage. I can go a million other places and nobody's going to pay me for this. But nowadays, with, social media is so big that they're just like, all right, what are your numbers? That's what drives the financial incentive, and that's why the gross shit happens.
Literally,
Anyway, moral of my story is I hate your cat.
Yeah.
Literally-
Tonka took an L today. I'm gonna say ahead of the curve.
literally one of the main gripes that I suppose I have with Alex Yard with this whole thing is at some point he decided that he needed to start making engagement bait content, all the antagonistic stuff, because it would drive the algorithm, et cetera, which I've got a bunch of thoughts in regard to that. The one deference I'll give is like, yeah, I mean, in terms of experimenting with stuff, sure, whatever, but the returns on that have been bad. So don't do engagement bait. It sucks. It's stupid, and it costs
Work
you
for a little while.
It costs you. That's the thing. Long term, it costs you your integrity. People stop believing you if you just pump out bullshit to try to get their attention, and you're like, oh, it's this thing, and then it's not, and it's like, okay, so what am I doing here? So that was a really long road to say that Donkey Kong Bonanza is okay, I suppose.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm curious where the rest of the game goes. I was realizing literally earlier today, I was like, man, the Patreon Hangouts, especially ones that are more than just me, really are just kind of off-brand D-pad podcast, like classic form again.
They just spiral out. I mean, we don't have a lot of time to chat with each other during normal episodes. So
No, it's true. And ironically, tonight, I need to wrap this up a little on the earlier side because, and I think it should have gone out by now. So one, we're doing our community night tonight, which is a double feature, watching some movies. That's going to start at 9. It's already 8:20 because of tech issues, and then a eulogy for the internet, which I've already got other things that I want to say, but maybe I'll hold off for now. But I've also got at 8:30, which I don't think we'll be wrapping up for then because it's 10 minutes from now. But the finale for Kirby and the Forgotten Land Star-Crossed World is going to go up as a premiere just because it's kind of a biggish episode and it's kind of the end of it and stuff and all that jazz. But we'll probably cross over to that a little bit, but that'll be going on shortly. And I figure we'll set up for the movies while that's doing its thing. I'll make this very quick. I don't mean to distract it again because I do want to get to the other stuff before we wrap up. But I'm like really down on just the internet in general right now. It's been kind of an avalanche of bullshit over the past like week or two in particular. I'm like, I like doing the D-pad. I like making video game content. I like talking about video games. But like, if I could literally take a little like bubble device, make a little thwomp sphere around that, and then just chunk float that off into the universe and let the rest of the internet vanish forever, I'd be a much happier person.
Yeah.
Bums me out. It bums me out. There's a lot of bullshit. But that could be literally 3 hours worth of chatting about that stuff. So I probably shouldn't, drive us too far off into there. But Other stuff that's going on. I should talk about other things channel-wise. Mario Kart World. I'm expecting to record some more of that probably on Sunday, just to get more stuff, or maybe before then. Maybe while you're here, we can do some. But I'm expecting to have more of that coming this week because we're about 2/3 of the way through it, and it'd be good to. Oh, and there's a tracker now. They added a tracker in the latest update for P switches and Peach medallions.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Fucking duh. It's amazing that wasn't in the game at launch. I don't know what they were thinking with that, but that'll be good. But another one where it's like, this has been a fun enough game. I'm getting about exactly as much out of this as I was hoping to in terms of focusing more on the... Ooh, why does this happen? I hate this.
Chat died.
Yeah. Focusing on the open worldy portion of it and all that jazz. Let's see if it comes back here. This is a new thing that's been happening lately, and I don't know why. It's been kind of driving me nuts. Let's do a quick refresh on it. There we go. Hopefully that is now working again. There we go. Nice. But yeah, I don't get excited generally for racing games in general. I get excited for racing games that are in our kind of like in our wheelhouse. Mario Kart is like tangentially in there, and it's like, oh, it's the first new Mario Kart game properly in like 12 years.
In a while,
so,
yeah.
So I'm down for that. And then Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which I thought I had next to me. I don't. That one, again, it's like, okay, it's a Sonic Racing game. Up until Team Sonic Racing, I really hadn't played. We played Sonic R for the channel, and we played Sonic Drift and Drift 2 for the channel. But like in life, I don't think I've ever played a Sonic Racing game just for its own sake.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to check it out just as like, oh, this is a piece of the overall puzzle kind of thing. But like, I don't really get into them very much, which is great news for me during a year where three new mascot races are coming out, and the next game in the Supersonic Let's Play is another Sonic Racing, a different Sonic Racing game. So, good time to be me.
It's racing games have really like split into two very distinct categories, where there's the like arcade couch co-op Mario Kart-esque racer,
mascot racers basically,
and then there's like
your Forzas and Gran Turismos and
there's sim, and I guess there's a third category that are like weird experimental, and like one of my favorite racers of all,
like Burnout, that kind of thing.
Yes, yeah, where there's some other element to the racing or some that makes it, that turns
it.
Speed
kind of goes that way a couple times too.
Just from like a basic racing standpoint to something a little more interesting.
It's less firmly realistic in the way like Forza and even Gran Turismo get, but it's got a little spice, but it's still ultimately like you're still a car. You're still
so like my favorite racing game of all time is Sega GT.
Oh yeah.
And it was so good because there was like a career mode.
I have that actually.
Where you probably do. It came to Sega GT Jet Set Radio for Xbox 360 or Xbox Original.
Oh, if it's not literally in this pile right here, then it's gonna be next to your head.
One of those up there. I don't see it off the rip, but yeah, it was
in this pile next to you too.
Dual disc for like the original Xbox.
Yeah,
but like there was a career mode to the racing, and you would buy and own cars and upgrade them and win races, and you pay money to enter a race, and if you lost money, and you'd have to pay to fix your car, and it could be a net negative, and there's something there to it. Mario Kart has
slightly more in the direction of mascot stuff. You get like Cruisin' in that series. Cruisin' World in particular is like cartoon physics, but everything else about it is relatively realistic.
Yeah, it was arcadey but realistic. But like, I just mean
Daytona,
some
R-Type,
some reason to play the game more over time, because like, Mario Kart, you can unlock characters and stuff, but there's no like real earth-shaking formula change. It's still Mario Kart. Not like you unlock a new item or you unlock a new mode where everybody drives in shitty cars and has like over the course of a cup or something, you're upgrading things to try to like counter your opponents or anything like that.
The big problem that I think Mario Kart faces is and this is a problem for a lot of long running series especially like party game style stuff, is at some point, I guess with starting with Mario Kart 8, the focus became online multiplayer as being its main thing.
Sure.
Or at least a thing. Whereas everything before it had been either couch multiplayer or like Game Link cable, that kind of thing, or one player mode, Grand Prix, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the Grand Prix are still in there, but they're not very hard.
Yep.
And
there's no depth to them. It's just win races, have most points, get cup, get King Boo as a reward.
Right. Other than the 7-player unlocks and 1 cup unlock, there's not anything that is really hidden or unlockable in the game in terms of like gameplay stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're stickers.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, neat, I guess, but it's just stickers, doesn't change anything.
I mean, Sega GT had like single car races where everybody races in a Subaru Impreza. And you can have your own upgrades, but like everybody races super. And then there's like a horsepower category thing where like you got to have more than 400 horses.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a supercar, it has to be an expensive car that costs more than X. Or like a full open race where the more expensive your car is, the more you pay in.
Oh, that's
but
fun.
Then
that's a little closer to like a Pink Slips kind of.
If you win, you can make your money back kind of thing. But if you enter a cheap-ass car and you do well enough, you can stand to make money.
Right.
Like, and then there's license tests to like, you know, you want to go on to the next tier.
Oh, you have to prove that you can actually.
It's a time trial with this Honda Civic. You have to do 3 laps in less than 4 minutes 32 seconds, and like, there's you know, more to it into like the single player. And like, you know, multiplayer racing, you could have somebody join a career race just as like a fun other person, and yeah, this is like, you know, that evolution stopped in the like non-hard sim realm.
Yeah.
And then there's like Forza, Gran Turismo, Horizon, like, and
those
then
ones are like
Beam.ng to a degree, but Beam.ng is also like more creative and goofy.
Okay.
Because you can like with Beam.ng you can like,
oh, did it do the thing again? For fuck's sake.
it seems to be fine now, but it did do an unhappy noise.
I'm gonna close Chrome. That usually is the instigator.
But yeah, there's been no real evolution on the racing scene for quite a while, and I think like where's a fucking spaceship racer? Where you're racing through space and doing like rings and asteroids and also shooting each other, and like, you know, there's the racing genre, I think, is really it's kind of
stagnant right now.
Yeah, and it's like one of my favorites from the past. But
I would honestly love this might exist somewhere in like a very niche area. I would love if there were a database, spreadsheet, what have you, that tracked as many racing games as possible. Anything that uses real world cars, not concepts, not approximations, but it's like, hey, this function, this is, you know, oh, it's Sonic and he's driving a fucking Impreza or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Sonic got a 72 Camaro with a T-top.
Yeah, I would love a thing where you could actually look up a make and model of car and have it tell you what games you can play that car in. I'm not a car guy, but for a very long time I tried to see if I could find any racing game that as a joke would include the one car that I've owned in my life. I don't own it anymore because it got totaled forever ago. But it was my grandmother passed away when I was literally the day I got my learner's permit back in high school. Very, very sad synchronicity. And then we hadn't really solved the question of like, all right, so I got my license, then what? Like, my parents were not loaded or anything, so it was like, I don't know, I'll either see if I can get a used piece of shit or whatever, or maybe someone in the family is like looking to upgrade and they want to get rid of theirs. She had a car that she took pretty good care of. So between my mom and my aunts, they were like, you know, if you give, I think it was like,
let me guess. Was it a sedan?
Yes.
What year did you get it?
I would have gotten it in, I think this would have been early 2004.
Okay, and this is a slightly less impressive question, but import or domestic?
Domestic.
Dodge Neon.
It was a 2000 Dodge Neon.
I fucking knew it.
2000 Dodge Neon in beige.
They
I believe
were-
sand, I think, was the color.
Dodge Neons they like gave away in the like early 2000s. That was the car I did my like learner's permit test on back in the day. It was
Truly
a Dodge Neon.
My
What a-
grandmother took great care of the car, but if you're not familiar, I'm not a car guy, but Dodge Neons, specifically the 2000 model,
Yes.
is one of the historic lowest safety rating cars
Correct.
ever made.
Correct.
Including to this day.
It was
like,
a
it's still
piece of shit.
Yeah, I was talking with Sarah about it actually last week when we went to go do groceries. And it just kind of came up, and I was talking about. So I lost my car because I was in an accident. I was pulling out of a kind of parking zone in Cambridge.
Oh, and you hit a bird and it totaled the car.
Yeah, it just exploded. It was crazy.
Rough.
No, I had pulled out. I was on the street, and someone decided in the other lane they were going to reverse parallel park. I mean, not like you don't parallel park and reverse anyway, but they were
just
reversing into a parallel park.
Surprise
and they
aggressive
swung
maneuver.
so hard that they smashed in my driver's side door.
Oof.
And it smashed in so hard that my knees got pressed together.
Yeah.
And I was like, literally a millisecond of difference, and I might not have legs.
one of my childhood friends also had a Dodge Neon.
Yeah.
And it was the most unnerving, dangerous piece of shit to drive ever. They used to
I
have.
hated taking it on the highway. You
They
take it
ha-
over 65, and it's.
They had a problem with the car that, just an occasional thing where the brakes would fall off.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Like the calipers would just disconnect and you would have no brake on that wheel anymore.
Didn't
Super
have
great.
that. Didn't have that. I
Yeah.
had grinding brakes after a while.
Well, yeah.
They rusted like crazy.
Yeah, no. The Dodge Neon was literally like the bottom dollar Dodge offering to be
Worst.
like, can we just sell some cars, please? Dodge is dying. Like
Yeah.
we need a win here. And
Yep.
they sold a shit ton of them, but they were poop.
As an addendum to that story, I was trying to find
a Pinto.
I was trying to find a parking space, and I did eventually in the next parking thing over after this all happened, because I had a comedy show that night. I was doing sketch comedy with a couple friends from college, and we had a show at Improv Boston.
You guys want to hear a joke? 2001 Dodge Neon.
I literally had a box of silly props and costumes that was in the back seat, and I had to check it in case there was broken glass.
Yep.
I had to. It's so funny in hindsight because so smashed in the door. The window was fucked completely. Most of the rest of the car seemed fine. When I eventually brought it to a shop, they were like, "Oh yeah, I hate to tell it because it was like, can we just replace the door?" And it was like,
A-pillar
your
was
frame
bent.
is like a centimeter
Yeah.
dented, and that is enough to make it literally not road
Yep.
legal.
You bend the frame. You either take everything off and you spend a shit ton of money
Yeah.
straightening the frame, which you only do for a valuable.
This car was
Old car.
for sure worth less than $1,000 by the time. I
No,
was done with
there's
it.
I think it's not CNET. There's another one that does car stuff. It might have been Car and Driver, but they had a feature at one point in the past on
Ooh, the Pinto, yeah,
the most totalable cars.
Oh yeah,
Where like if you got in the most minor of accidents, the insurance company would be like, that car is worth $6.
Yeah.
It's total. Like where you break, you get bumped on the front and it like folds in the bumper and a couple of things, and they're like, yeah, that car is worth fucking nothing.
Yep.
Like melt it down for scrap. And the Dodge Neon is also on that list because it was cheap as shit. But man, if you had the smallest of accidents, it'd be like, nope, throw her in the garbage.
Yep. To go, I would genuinely believe that it probably has a worse safety rating than the Cybertruck, for very different reasons.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the
Cybertruck, you'll probably live, but your bones will get rearranged because there's no crumple zone at all.
So
the Dodge Neon is 100% crumple zone.
Yes.
The whole car. If a
the
Cybertruck
drivers,
hit a
yeah.
Dodge Neon, the Dodge Neon would just become like a new shell around the
Yes.
truck.
It
which
would be
didn't stop
would be a
moving.
hood ornament.
Yeah. Just, It'd be like taking a soda can and just going, eh.
Modern safety standards. I mean, and a lot of car manufacturers complained about this. Like 2 or 3 times they've fully overhauled the NSTH, National Transit. I don't know. The car authority in the U.S. overhauled like the safety standards and stuff. And the difference between a car built in the 90s or the early 2000s versus today is shocking.
Yeah.
Like, you could have the least safe car in history today that was made like 2 years ago, and it would be 10 times safer than the Dodge Neon or even the medium most safe, except for Volvos.
Well, yeah.
The Volvos and Saabs, you could crash into a brick wall, and the brick wall would get totaled, and the Saab and the Volvo would be fine. But
it's honestly kind of amazing the Cybertruck is still even like it's harder now for sure, but like that it even gets sold at all with all the safety shit that it flagrantly violates.
Yeah, so a lot of the Cybertruck safety stuff is about other cars.
Yeah,
like there are like a lot of like modern pickup trucks kind of skirt this edge, but there is also an element you have to consider of how dangerous are you to another car.
Yes.
And
which for most trucks is already a pretty high factor anyway, because more mass.
They're
like,
giant. Yeah. They're going to total whatever they hit, but hopefully it's safe enough on the end. But like
Cybertruck is like 1 billion metric tons, and it doesn't bend.
Well, if you're driving a Ford F-250 from 2025 that has a 6-foot tall hood, and you hit a Mazda Miata, which is a low-to-the-ground 2-seater fun little convertible coupe.
Yeah.
That Mazda's fucked.
Yeah,
and
you might take a good chunk of the fucking top off the thing.
They cannot make trucks much taller until they change the rules or they classify as like buses. Like it's just, when you go frontal collision with anything that's a truck and you're not in an SUV, like it's bad.
Oh yeah.
And that's a concern about now, like, stuff nowadays.
I will say to Nano, I believe it is not cast aluminum. I believe it is literally stainless steel. So which is also bad. You don't do that.
The frame is aluminum.
Okay.
The skin is stainless steel.
The actual outer.
Correct.
Yeah.
The body panels and much of the structural
which is
exterior
why it smudges so badly too.
Yes.
You touch it and that shit's on there forever.
Yes. It's the outside of the truck, Nano, that is stainless, and like honestly, that made me so fucking. So it doesn't.
Rust.
It doesn't rust. It scales.
Oh, that's
which is a different process, because stainless steel, like it doesn't degrade and become oxidized, but like it can
fleck off basically.
Like it creates deposit because of like the end. It's not like food grade stainless steel, because that would make it $1 trillion.
Yeah,
and it would be another 2,000 pounds more heavy. It's just Elon Musk heard stainless steel and he's like, oh, that'll never stain.
That sounds cool. I like that on my.
It won't ever rust.
Knives.
Like, that's what, and knowing nothing about material science or anything.
It's honestly incredible how many decisions got made with absolutely zero checking with anybody, and there's like this looks cool. Looks like a future car.
The classic Elon Musk engineers trying to avoid him, to be like, please don't come and tell us to do something stupid, and then we have to because you own the company.
What if we make a spaceship that's entirely fueled with fresh hamburgers?
I heard that beryllium is a really dope material. Can we make the car out of beryllium? And the engineers are
what
like,
about cesium?
Beryllium is $300,000 a kilogram. We can't do it. Like we gotta avoid him.
So you remember those wristwatches that glow in the dark? So nobody's got any more of those, right? What if we just use that?
Why do we stop making stuff out of radon, you guys?
We'll just scrape that out, put it in a dish, put that dish in the car. That's your fuel.
Perfect.
And they're just like sitting there with just like a bottle of pills on the side. They're like, yeah, man, totally.
This will be my last like car geek thing, but it's worth noting that a lot of Tesla's early success with the early Model 1, 2, and S, and the original Tesla Roadster.
Yeah.
The original Tesla Roadster was 0% a Tesla chassis. It was a Lotus 8.
Okay.
I think it's a Lotus 8. They bought the Lotus 8 was a low slung, high tensile, like, intense sports car, light and fast and intense. And Lotus, was kind of fading out in terms of being a sports car and luxury car manufacturer. And Tesla bought the rights to basically take the Lotus platform and electrify it. And those original Tesla Roadsters were just a Lotus, which again, brilliant. Because
that's very common in car stuff anyway.
Oh, platform sharing.
Yeah,
yes.
That shit happens because it's expensive as fuck to develop new platforms.
Your
new
Lexus
bodies,
is a
everything.
Toyota.
Yeah,
the
brand name is really very immaterial in a lot of particular ways.
Yep. Your GM car is literally any of GM's marquee brands, but just with different panels and trim. But Tesla bought the Lotus. I forget if it's the 8 or the Exige. It was one of those two, but they bought the chassis and the rights, and they electrified them. And they did a great job because they chose a great chassis that was ready-built, tested, and good, and to electrify. But then ever since then, they went off on their own tangent, and that's why. And then they arrived at the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
So
it's the stupid show.
Yes, the slow and shitification of Tesla.
Oh God, I believe he's threatened to open another Cyberloop in Flagstaff or something. I don't know fucking nowhere.
I don't think anybody's gonna give him any money for it anymore.
No.
Well, we were talking about racing games. You were talking about those on the slate.
I should swing back to this.
We can move.
We're very short on time now.
Yeah.
Mario Kart World and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. You should be expecting to see those this week. I don't know anything so far about what the story mode or whatever is for Cross Worlds. I figured that's probably going to be essentially 96% of what we do for the Let's Play.
Yeah.
We'll probably have, as usual, one episode of fucking around with it first, and then dive in, and then story mode, and then at the end of that, if that unlocks stuff, then cool. Otherwise, it'll be on our way. But
that's the right way to do.
That's usually for racing in
us,
particular. Yeah. If a racing game that we cover for XYZ reason doesn't have a story mode, it kind of just becomes we'll do a session with this until we get bored, and then that's probably just it.
Also, one of the strengths of the Sonic racing games is that they do have stories.
Yes.
Riders and fucking
all of them do. Even back to Sonic Drift, they all do at least nominally have a story.
There is some kind of single player campaign to play through and race through, and whatever the one before Cross Worlds,
Team Sonic Racing.
Yes,
the one with no drops.
Yeah.
Hashtag no drops.
Team Sonic Racing had a story and a multiplayer story. You could
that was very
play
interesting.
through the campaign as a team, which was cool. But
nice. I think Miyu and Ben.
Yeah,
all three of us were playing at once.
Yep, we had the whole fucking squad going for a while.
Yep. I don't know if that's the case here. Again, I don't know anything about. We'll figure it out as we dive into it, but we'll see, I guess. Other stuff. Echoes of Wisdom. We got back in Echoes of Wisdom. We I think have cleared another. No, we have not cleared another dungeon. We're I think about to get. We're in the early stages of another chapter. We're probably maybe 55% of the way through the game, maybe 60. Getting there with that. The hope is that we'll be able to finish it before Hyrule Warriors comes out, because I do want to cover that when that comes out as well. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. So that'll be a good time. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. John's had stuff going on. I need to figure out what's going to happen in terms of that schedule wise, whether it's we record with him remotely for my own stuff, for his stuff. Maybe we record remotely and I pilot and he just tells me what he wants to do. I don't know, but I want to get that back on its feet because that's been on pause for a very long time. Pokemon Insurgents is going to come back when the main schedule is a little clearer. I feel so bad because I brought it back for 2 weeks and then it was oops, it's on pause again. But we just have a lot of, we kind of hit a point as we're getting to the end of the summer where suddenly every game is coming out. We went from a good year or two of really slow drip game releases with not a lot on the horizon to suddenly over the next 6 months, there's 7 or 8 games coming out that either I'm personally interested in or they mean something channel wise.
Yes, yeah, important to the various Let's Plays.
Right. Hyrule Warriors, we had Echoes of Wisdom from last year. That obviously doesn't count, but Team Sonic or Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Kirby Air Riders, Dragon Quest 1 and 2, HD2D remake. I'm gonna stream when that schedule is all clear. Metroid Prime 4 is coming out in 2 months. Pokemon Legends ZA is coming out, I think, in a couple weeks. Literally, I think 2 weeks. There's also the Dragon Quest VII remake, which I took a picture of it and I didn't even send it, but when I was reorganizing some of my shelves, I saw I own the 3DS port of 7, and I've never touched it. So I don't know how that happened, but there's just a Silk Song, Hollow Knight Silk Song. I want to play that too, and I haven't touched it because I would like to stream it, but I can't. I have too many things, so I can't. So there's a lot of that. So when that cools down a tiny bit, we will be back into Insurgents, and we will see that through to its conclusion. Same goes for Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, which I want to at least start getting moving again for weekends where we don't have like Star Force or something else that's going on for weekend content. At some point fairly soon, I want to get Kingdom Hearts going again as well. I've been working on something on the side for that. And it's very silly and very stupid and kind of big. So hopefully that'll be fun when that's out.
I want to do a series called Jeff Makes Rick Play a Game.
Yeah.
Where when I come over on the weekend, I just have a Steam game ready to go and make you play it.
Probably do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
done.
That's part of the reason for this wall of games is at some point the goal is folks show up and we go, all right, what do we want to play today?
So I love consoles, but fuck, dude, I'm a PC gamer nowadays.
That's totally
there
fair.
are so
part
many...
of why there's so many like old fucking ones in there too.
Well, yes, okay.
Yeah, that's its own thing.
Classic PC. I'm not gonna push you on, or a retro console.
Yeah.
I'm in on.
I was literally spending time earlier today because I'd previously thought like, oh, doing like a best of the wheel of the worst style thing with NES games would be great sometime, and it's like that's so derivative. But what if the wheel went this way and it was just just a Rolodex of NES games?
Yeah, we could have. It's different because
it goes like the Price is Right wheel.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Or what if we played, a NES game and you got to choose 2 Power Action Replay cheat codes to have on or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's just so many Steam games that I play. And if I play like a console game nowadays, I emulate it or I play the PC release of whatever console game it is.
See, I go the other way with it usually is I'll aim for console only because
I've pirated copies of all of the games that I own because one day Donald Trump robot will declare video games illegal and then I'll have no option but to go to my hard drives of pirated copies of the game because Steam will disappear and I don't actually own anything that I own. So
isn't that the best thing about gaming post 2018?
I regret that shit a lot. But that said,
it was so beautiful for a while being like, whoa, you can digitally download games now? That's awesome. Then it was like, what if though it was the opposite of awesome? If every cool thing was actually a sneakily bad thing.
They just legitimately, there are no PC games you can get a hard copy for,
which is crazy because I still remember even a few years ago going into like a Best Buy or like a Staples or whatever, and they would have a whole fucking aisle just for like, hey, here's like the last 3 years worth of like of your various stuff. Here's a fucking Broderbund game that we're selling for some reason.
I still have my original copy of StarCraft and Brood War on CD, like within the box.
Somewhere I have my Mech Warrior 2 CD still.
Hell yeah.
That shit was the bomb. Nothing better than turning the game on, feeling nostalgic, starting the training module, intentionally killing your instructor, and then turning off the game.
Yeah, that was enough.
Whew. That was fun. Don't care about the rest. Let's get out of here.
R.I.P. Mech Warrior 4. Mech Warrior as a franchise.
Yeah.
I said Mech Warrior 4 because that's the best Mech Warrior there is, but or maybe Mech Warrior 4, the War of the Wolves or whatever it was called. The
Mech
expansion,
Warrior is part of the broader BattleTech franchise, or is it
separate?
Or they are separate.
BattleTech and Mech Warrior. Maybe they're owned by the same company now.
Maybe that's
but
what it
the
is,
history of Mech Warrior and the history of BattleTech are separate.
Okay.
There has not been a Mech Warrior game that's made any kind of splash in the last decade.
Oh, sure.
There have been a few BattleTech games.
Okay.
And they're both good. I own BattleTech. Like there was a somewhat 5 or 6 years ago or something game called like BattleTech.
Yeah.
And it was just a classic. Had a great campaign mode, had a great free roam mode. It was good.
Yeah.
It was slow and it's turn-based and it's not in the cockpit. It was, basically a strategy game.
Mm-hmm.
But, there hasn't really been a good MechWarrior release for a while. And Hawken. Did you ever hear of Hawken?
It sounds. I've never played it. I think you've told me a little bit about it before.
Yeah, Hawken was basically a MechWarrior FPS.
Okay.
Where your movement mechanics were, based on being in a mech.
Okay.
And you had jump jets and stuff, but the little tiny mechs with less armor could jump higher and move faster, and the big ones were slower. Your classic stuff.
Yeah.
It unfortunately died. It was built for online PvP, which it was glorious when it existed, but when they didn't make enough money,
servers go down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I still have in my
story.
Steam library Hawken that you can start and do the training missions. Nice. But if you try to actually connect to anything, it just dies.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, and they tried. I feel really bad for the console players because they did a release of it on consoles.
Yeah.
And that release on consoles was 6 months before all the servers went down.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
so
not good.
That's a pretty big ripoff for console.
Yeah, that sucks.
But it was just literally an FPS, but you're in a mech. You move like a machine and not like a
a little stiffer, a little more
mechanical
tank control.
Yes,
stuff.
A little bit more direct, a little bit more intentional in terms of your movement. If you do a little burst, like a jump jet burst in a direction, there's a cooldown before you can do another dash. Yeah. It was so good.
Nice. I would love to do just maybe a project that might be fun after I've done the first wave of hey, I've finally got money again. I can spend on the D-pad again. Once that first wave of stuff is done, maybe I can build a separate, very low intensity, probably literal scrap level PC just for running old versions of Windows in, was it not VirtualBox? Oh no, VirtualBox, yeah.
That's one of them,
and do old late 90s CD-ROM games of stuff. I would love to play Fallout 1 and 2 one of these days.
Those are released on Steam in full with bugs patched and active versions that have been improved, and
nice.
I could go on my laptop right now and find Fallout 2. The last time I played it was
I'm the Gek, baby.
September 21st. Only a couple of weeks ago that I play Fallout 2.
Yeah, I was just wait, hang on, that was days ago.
Yeah.
Scratch. We're only gonna load the first 2 missions. I've told my story before of my sad history with Final Fantasy VIII. I think I got to the final disc, final dungeon, and the disc was so scratched that the loading from one screen to the next took whole integer amounts of minutes. I never did finish it because I was like, this is tormentous,
painful. Yeah,
because very slight spoiler. Essentially, when you walk into the dungeon, a bunch of your button commands, essentially, you have to go find them to be able to use them again. So it's literally it's mazy, but the idea is once you gain a thing, here's this new path you can take as of XYZ. It's a clever way of doing that,
and
like a self-opening puzzle, but torturous that way. I managed to load it onto the Polymega, so if I ever get the itch, I could go back and do it without any problems. So
a nostalgia bait.
Yeah.
Finishing your soup from 20, 30 years ago.
Oh my God. Yeah, honestly, yes, I think it was back around college. I'm trying to remember exactly when. I think it was, it would have been college, not high school. So yeah, would have been almost 20 years, if not 20 years at this point. Holy fuck. More than 15, less than 20. Other games that are going on. Sonic Riders, we're going to get into the second game for that after we're done with Crossworlds. I really wanted to get to it before. I feel bad because I did say we were going to do that, and then stuff kind of got slowed down and busy and crazy, and the job stuff was going on, so it is going to come after. But the good news is, fingers crossed, knock on wood, they haven't announced another Sonic game yet. So hopefully, so long as they don't announce one in the next fucking 20 days, we'll be able to actually continue at long last. Same goes for Mega Man. I'm hoping to get that finally back on its feet this year. Not Star Force, which is separate, kind of, but like the daily Mega Man content. The stuff for that has picked up steam, both because I wanted to get it closer to the finish line and also for reasons outside my control, which have spurred me on to move a little faster on that. I will explain that statement at a later date. Eternal Darkness. We still have a handful of videos left for that. And I've just been real bad about getting them up. They are still coming.
Well, the other explicit problem is that your boy Jeff's brother, Dave's brother, Jeff's brother Dave,
yes,
is getting married real soon.
Yes,
as he has said on many platforms and occasions, but
yes.
it's very soon. So the likelihood of him having a free weekend and time.
We finished the game though, is the thing.
Wait, did we actually?
We did.
We did. Was
we
I
did.
not there?
You were there.
Oh, okay.
We did finish it. I've just been terrible at actually getting the damn videos up.
I remember the multi playthrough with different gods.
Yeah,
thing
which
threw me off because I was like, we saw the full ending.
Yeah,
what?
if we were to wind up doing that, I think we would literally like break it up by probably even a couple of years.
Yeah,
just
it would take a long damn time to finish it for each god. But
yes, but yeah. So the rest of that is coming. Resident Evil's a little bit question mark because we were gonna do Resident Evil 5 next, but now Resident Evil 9 is coming out in February, and it's a loose sequel to 2 spin-off Resident Evil games that now CJ and I are trying to figure out if we're gonna cover. It's essentially a follow-up to the 2 Resident Evil Outbreak games.
Oh, huh.
So big question marks on that. I don't know what we're doing with that. I got to talk with CJ. But I'll be seeing him in a couple of weeks. He'll be coming here for the Halloween party.
Yeah.
He's actually going to be here the night before as well.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, so we might be able to do some stuff that weekend before the party.
Oh, should I bust out my list of things?
Maybe, yes. There was
Oh
one
my God,
in particular
is
that I was actually going to suggest.
Thing that we've been thinking about for
like 2 years.
Oh
yeah.
my God. Okay.
I was actually going to message because I was like, hey, this is probably our best chance of actually accomplishing
yes.
this.
Okay. All right. Then I'm coming 2 days early now.
Star Force, I assume there's a 99.7% chance we're going to record some this weekend. So there won't be any. I highly doubt. Actually, not even doubt. It won't come up this weekend because the earliest we could start recording it if we did it tonight would be like 12:30. So that's not happening.
It won't be this weekend.
It won't be this weekend. But
we'll get some in the can.
Yeah, next weekend I'll have some up. Essentially.
Also, I gotta pee.
Yep, no problem. Kingdom Hearts, already talked about that. The only thing that now stands between us and Kingdom Hearts 3 are 2 things. One is the first chunk of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, which is essentially the continuation of Unchained Key after the point where Key, after Unchained Key exits the content that was also in Key. Technically, very technically, we ended the Unchained Key section a little bit, or it was very vague how stuff got broken up in Key and Unchained Key and Union Cross. I made it my personal mission after the last one of those to go back and figure out what the fuck everything was. So I have since determined a few things. One of them being, oops, we shouldn't have done the Keyblade War portion at the end of Unchained Key because that stuff didn't get released until much, much later for that game. But it also was kind of nice because where we would have had to end it was just kind of a random spot. So that's its own thing. There's like maybe half a dozen cutscenes that are still technically Unchained Key cutscenes before the branding change to Union Cross. But essentially, we're going to watch all of the Union Cross cutscenes that came out before Kingdom Hearts 3 got released. Then there's a secret thing, and I'll explain what that is. I guess I won't explain what that thing is. You'll just see it when it happens. And then we're into Kingdom Hearts 3 at long last. And somehow, Kingdom Hearts 4 still doesn't have any new news to it. So that's fun. But if history is anything to go by, right as we're wrapping it up, Kingdom Hearts 4 will get an announcement. So stay tuned there. And that's basically it. Streaming things. I'm almost done with Smash Brothers Brawl. I'm down to, I think, 11 trophies left. 1, 2. Actually, I can pull up the list right now. If I can find it. Hang on, I'll go over here. I've got it in a separate spot. Oh, there it is. Yeah. In Brawl, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trophies left. 3 of them come from boss battle mode. 1 from beating with 20 characters, 1 from beating with all characters, 1 from beating it on intense. There's a trophy for collecting all the stickers. There's a trophy for collecting all the songs. And then the remaining 6 are just random trophies. I can get them in matches. I can get them from the coin launcher. All that jazz. And then we're done with Brawl, which sounds like not a lot, but intense mode sucks. So that's fun. And, there were tangents for sure. We got some interesting ones tonight.
Yeah, I saw that comment, Alex, and I was like, oh, you have no idea.
You don't even know. But so Brawl, very close to completion. I'm hoping to have it done within the next 2 streams. Once that is the case, Metroid Prime is taking over Monday's slot, along with the usual Wednesday slot. I think we're down to 1 more stream of Metroid Prime 1 before that is done, and then we'll be moving into Metroid Prime 2 as the follow-up for that. Also trying very hard to finish those before Metroid Prime 4 comes out. That seems like it's going to be a tough one. There may be a couple extra streams here and there. We'll see. And then that's all that's been going on for active streams right now. I know everybody's kind of busy with stuff. There's the wedding thing that's coming up, so everybody's busy with that. CJ and Felice have work stuff that have been keeping them kind of busy too. But everybody's got stuff that they're kind of planning in the background. I don't know if you wanted to talk about any of the stuff that was on your end or not. I know Dave is also kind of figuring out what he wants to do when he's back too. I think he was going to get back into Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a busy ass segment of time for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, understandable. CJ, I think, is also basically at the very end of Heretic Faith Renewed. And I've got so many Hexen streams that are basically ready to go at this point. And we have an intro for Hexen as well. It's like 2/3 the way through editing, but I haven't finished it because I'm like, well, it goes up after that stream. So I at least have until CJ finishes Heretic Faith Renewed. So I'm not like, it's not like, oh shit. So that'll go up. And we have literally months of daily VOD uploads of Let's Rip and Tear to go up. Once that cork gets uncorked, we're good there. What else? I think that's actually it. I think that is actually it. I hate to wrap this up so quickly. We are a little over time from when I was planning for us to be done. And then I also pushed the movie start time back 15 minutes because it's currently happening right now, a YouTube premiere of the final Kirby Star-Crossed World episode, which is literally like wrapping up in a couple minutes.
Oh, okay.
So just to give people at least a chance to kind of get in on that. But thank you guys for hanging out. I know this was kind of weird. The next hangout is probably going to be Friday the 7th of November because I've got a bunch of weekend shit going on in a row. And that's like the earliest window that I can have that's not literally 2 weeks from now for another hangout. And so I think we'll be good for that. If that needs to change, I'll let you guys know. And if that is the case, it'll probably move to the 1st of November. So Saturday the 1st. It'll be a rare non-Friday one. Because more than likely, not even more than likely, the weekend after that is going to be Extra Life for this year. We're going to have an official thing coming out. We're going to plan stuff for it. But that is when Extra Life is going to be because it is also essentially the only weekend that remains for like most of the rest of the year to slot something like that in. So November 15th, mark it on your calendar. Unclear if it's going to be midnight to midnight. So Extra Life Day is the weekend before that, but we are not available. So we're moving it out a week. So could be midnight to midnight. Could be like 9 p.m. to 9 p.m. starting from Friday night. Could be anywhere. We're going to figure out the details, but there will be an official thing for that coming as we get nearer to the end of October. And yeah, I think that's basically everything. We got Digimon Night in 2 weeks. We're going to be watching Digimon the movie and Digimon the movies.
Yep.
I'm actually thrilled that they named it that, because I was like, okay, Digimon the movie is what we got in the States. What are they going to call the 3-movie collection? What could they even call it that wouldn't be a clunky, weird name? And it's like, oh, Digimon the movies. Oh, that's actually really slick. I like that.
It's actually kind of good.
And it is accurate. So it's like, all right, cool. So cool. Oh, yes, and I should mention, that reminds me, I'm joining the charity room tomorrow evening for, they're doing a Mario Hearties is the name of the event, where it is 5 games of Mario Party. I'm in the 4th game at 6 p.m. Eastern, raising money for the American Heart Association. I am going to be playing Mario Party DS, and I don't remember off the top of my head who's in our game. I think Clark is. I think Linky is. Good King Linky. Oh God, can I find this fast? The 4th person in our game is Matt Big Fat, who I just played on a team with for Sonic Shuffle last week. So that'll be a great time. If I win, then I'm also in the 8 o'clock game that is for the winners of all 4. Otherwise, though, we're going to be recording for basically what's left of that time. But yeah, so please drop in. I'll be posting about it in the Discord. I don't believe we're going to be streaming it. I believe it's just going to be my webcam going to Linky, who is going to be the main person hosting all of that. I think it's through the Charity Room's Twitch page. I think it's twitch.tv/thecharityroom, all one word. And yeah, that's going to be it. So cool. I'm going to take a quick break so that we can get this stuff set up. It will probably be starting closer to 9:30 just for, realistic, setup and just quick breather.
Tech setup intro and urination.
Yes. And yeah, if anyone out there is watching the VOD, you want to join in on this, you can head to patreon.com/dpatfm. We do this every month, as well as our Digimon night, which kind of spawned out of these community nights that we also do as the other half of the monthly stuff. You can get your name in our videos. You can get shout outs, all those sorts of things. You can see the details there for more. Yeah. And also, actually, just as one last thing for that, sometime in November, I think I'm going to have kind of a town hall, either post or stream, just to kind of check in with folks. It's going to be open to... it's either going to be fully public or it's going to be open to all of our patrons, including like down to the $1 tier, just to kind of get a sense of like how people are feeling with stuff. Quick little satisfaction kind of poll. If people are unhappy, I want to fix that. And if people have ideas for stuff, I want to hear those too. So I want to be able to, give you guys stuff that you're actually like interested in, stuff that'll energize you, and make good on, you guys are extremely charitable for giving us anything at all, especially during times like these, and we really appreciate it, and I want to make sure that we can express that back to you guys. So there's my awkward ham-handed pitch for all of that out of the way. I'm gonna set up for the movies, and we'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.